Today, I want to do something a little bit unique with you guys and give you guys a peek into history and a peek into, you know, basically the last 10 years in the making. Now, I could have gone back a little bit further on this, but my reservation system has only, this particular one has only got 10 years worth of history, so I have to show you what I've got. But it is a good way for you guys to look into and see the kind of stuff that is generating the most kind of revenue and the things that are probably the most wanted items so that you guys can see in different categories in different ways what are the best items and what kind of revenue are they bringing in or what kind of sales are they bringing in now we need to preface this with the understanding that I am in the South. I am in Georgia. I have about a 10-month season. So depending on where you're at in the country and depending on, kind of the situation that you're in, you may have a different situation, different wants, different needs, customers that have different desires. Obviously, if you're up north, your winter is a lot longer. So you're not going to have the types of units that I may have doing the kind of sales that they are. So kind of keep this in mind. Depending on where you are, will give you kind of an understanding of the units that are best for you as well. It is not sheerly on what I'm doing. What I'm doing may not be best for what you. Again, sorry, I had to bring that up. I had to preface it. I want to start by showing you categories, and it's kind of a broad side to start on, but I thought that it was kind of unique. I have my units separated into a few different categories. I have toddler fun, I have bounce house, I have wet dry slides, I have combos, I have um, interactives, which includes all of my obstacles and games and everything like that. As far as the inflatables are concerned, um, so when we look at the categories, it's important to keep in mind that this may be kind of a broader spectrum of things. And as you can see, the wet dry slides obviously are the top category that we're doing. Um, and you can see all the wet dry slides are doing pretty good as far as how many deliveries they're having altogether. So some of these may not be in service anymore. So I don't want you guys to think that this is everything that I have. This is a history of the units that I've had. So when you see all these wet dry slides, although I do have quite a few wet dry slides, some of these have been retired and put out of service. But you're able to see the history of them, which is really really good for you guys. So you can kind of see. First and foremost, wet dry slides is the top category. Now, my wet dry slides range from 12 foot all the way up to 24 foot. So there's a big range there. Again, it is all encompassing and it's single lanes, dual lanes, it's slides with slip and slides, it's the whole 9 yards. Anything that can be used wet or dry is where it falls. And we have to get way down here to see the next category, which was the bounce houses. And again, some of these have been retired. Some of them are older than others. So there's not, you know, don't think that I have 40 bounce houses or whatever is here. Um, so the two are obviously those two, um, interactives being the third. And again, all the way up from the games and the obstacles and things like that. Um, Oddly enough, things like my football toss, the games are out thing. These obstacles are pretty amazing, and the reason why I have so many rentals is because of the age on these. They have lasted me longer than any other units out there. So obstacle courses can be a good generator. They can also be a long-term generator of money. And these two obstacle courses, again, some of my older pieces, and as you can see, doing tons and tons of rentals. Toddler fun, obviously bringing in the end, and that's kind of a category I put in there because I was trying to restrict the age on some of my units. I didn't want big kids trying to use like a 12-foot slide, and that's what I did was I kind of limited that. So there's not a whole lot there, um, but they do well for the toddlers, and sometimes you may have to do those kind of things where you are putting those things out simply for you know a certain age group and avoiding older kids playing on smaller stuff. Let's go back and see what the top rentals would be. Now, again, this is kind of all the categories melded into one, and it will give you an idea of longevity wise the items that are getting the most rentals for you know uh, the time that they've been out of there. We have a castle combo wet dry, um, obviously taking the top spot of almost 300 rentals. A castle bounce. My castle bounces are again primary colors, so they're not that one is not themed. And then the third one is one of my. This one is kind of misleading because I have a couple of these, so this may be divided amongst a couple different rentals here. It's 12-foot dual lane slide is what it is. Um, Again, another bounce house, and then you get down to the two obstacle courses with the rock climb slide and the 22 dual lane is the first water slide. It's kind of funny that it took us all the way down one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight units until we got to the water slides, even though the water slides are the top thing. But there are so many of them that that's kind of the way that it landed. Those kind of things are generating lots of rentals. Anything over 200 is just astounding and amazing. This one close to 300 is actually kind of amazing. And then even when you get into the 100, close to 200 range, 175, close to 200 with another obstacle with slide, um, the basketball chute, 16-foot dual lane slide is a wet dry unit. Pink and purple bounce house. Again, color specific towards girls, but does phenomenal. Um, dual lanes, dual lane slide, and then some of these are older. The Dalmatian combo is a little older. Um, Little Fireballs is another 12-foot slide, and the Fiesta. Lots of kind of mixture here between the obstacles, the wet dry slides, and the bounce houses kind of put in there. And again, a lot of them um, have more age than others. But when you're looking at your inventory, you need to, we're buying stuff to use for several years, so you want those kind of things to generate kind of the money that you want it to generate. So the next thing I want to do is kind of look at the gross sales. Um, so we'll take a look at that. Okay, on the sales report for the gross sales, the Castle Combo Wet Dry Slide did the most with 63,000 in sales. The 22 Dual Lane Slide did 66,000 in sales. Look at the difference in the rentals and the difference in the money. So we literally almost 100 more rentals on this. This has to go out 100 more times to match the money that we're talking about. Um, so we need to be mindful of that and understand that sometimes you're picking the units for the amount of money, and sometimes you're picking it for the popularity. Um, but you don't ever want to get in a situation where you're overworking yourself to try to make the money. If this was, 400 or something like that to try to make the same money, then it gets in a concerning area. The 16-foot dual lane slide again generates a large amount of money, but it's a big step down from this 22 and the castle combo. Um, and again, the obstacles, these have age on them. The Castle combo did so well is because I think that it's a kind of a universal unit. It's out there for a lot of different things, and both these obviously are wet slides. The Munchkin is our big toddler fun unit, so smaller slide, but going out for the little kids quite a bit. Again, this unit has multiples, so you can probably at least divide that in two. Um, Obstacle with slide. This is a newer unit from these two, but those, when you combine those threes, are those are all school units. 22-foot dual lane, a single lane comes in. Now that's a retired unit, and it is not far behind, you know, uh, the other ones there. So the bigger slides make bigger money. The orange twist is a good piece. It not very old, so it's made a lot of money in it in probably, I think we've probably had it 3 years, 3.5 years. So it's really doing it. The tropical dual lane slide, very good as well. Um, and again, picking up more rentals. Leaps and bounds, super good and it fits into every single field day or school event or some of my college events and stuff like that. That's been a really good piece. So kind of keep that in mind. But that's not something that you want to look at as far as core. It literally gets outside of the bounds of your slide, your obstacle, your bounce, and your combo. The four pillars of the inflatable business. It fits in with the obstacles, but it's outside of that range a little bit and gets in a little difference. Um, Tropic Plunge, uh, good unit. This has been retired. Um, Made a lot of money. A lot of work goes into setting these up and tearing them down, and it also has a lot of wear and tear on it because it's one of those things that's bigger and adults like to use it. 24-foot dual lane um, is probably a year younger than the 22. The difference is that this one is got pools on it, so people assume that is only wet. This one is more conducive to wet or dry, and a lot of the schools will use that because it'll fit inside the gym. So think about that when you're looking at pieces. Think about what your customer will need. I don't know how many of you guys have ever measured the entire inside of your schools, but you need to measure the inside of the school gyms because if you have winter events or if you have rain day events or something like that, you're going to need pieces that are going to fit. And if you go out and buy a big piece that doesn't fit inside the gym, you're going to be stuck. So keep that stuff in mind. This 22 Red Rush is our newer one. Um, and again, you can see that these two probably span 10 years. So between the two slides, made $100,000 in 10 years. So they're doing about 10 grand a year between the two of them. Keep that in mind. That's kind of a good bellwether of the kind of money that you're going to make off of it. And again, this one is one that really surprises me. The Fiesta has made so much money. This is every single one of my employees absolutely just has a disdain for this unit. And the reason why is that it's slow. to deflate. The way that they built it is they did not put a bunch of vents on it, and I don't know whether the company was having problems that built it. They were having problems built when they built this with, it not holding up with amount of. So when they built this, they really took away a lot of the vents and stuff. It has, one vent on the back, one vent on the front, and that's it. And it is really, really slow to deflate. All my employees hate it. It's the price on this was really good for me. I think I paid 3 grand, and as you can see, I mean it's under 5 years, so it's making a ton of money. So I mean, you guys need to kind of think of that kind of stuff too when you're looking at stuff. Think about what your customers like, not what your guys like, not what you got. And I know you guys are doing the work. I know that you're the ones that are having the issues and the problems, but you need to keep in mind that generating the revenue is why you're here. So if you're picking the ones that your customers don't like, or the customers are just going to settle for, and you're just picking the stuff that's easy for you to set up or easy for your guys to do or whatever, it's, you've got to have a balance between the two. I'll say it that way just to be nice, but I'm going to run the Fiesta. This will probably be its last season, but I'm really really pleased with the amount of money that it's made, and what we've done with it. Uh, my caution drops, really good units. I had two of those, and both of them generated about the same amount of money. Again, they had about a 5 year lifespan, because you're dealing with water, because you're dealing with a lot of grit. When you deal with water units, they're getting on, they're getting off, they're stepping in mud. Even if you've got tarps down, they still generate mud. They track that into the unit. That mud gets in the seams, and in Georgia we have clay, which is made up of sand and some sort of dirt, and it literally eats at those seams, and it'll break them down in just a few short years. So this unit was probably 5 years old, generated about 7,000 a year is what it was looking at. Um, and there's our 24-foot dual lane. Again, it's still in excellent shape, still running strong. Uh, we have a few more years left in it. So yes. All right, those are some of the top getters. And again, water slide, water slide, water slide, water slide. You guys are familiar with some of these. The Wild Rapids, everybody has a version of that. It's, the one that has the things. The Big Kahuna, everybody has a version of that. Um, the Crayon combo. This is an older unit. Uh, Again, been out there a long time and made lots of money, and I'm happy with it. This unit, I had them design this unit myself, the Fun Flume. And the reason why is we're in Georgia, we have hills, and I thought to myself, why are we setting big slides up? Why not make a slide that has a slight slope, and we can, put use the hill to our advantage and make the slide that way. It's done pretty well. I've definitely made my investment back on it. Uh, Done really well. Wrecking ball, again, one of those units that a lot of the schools and stuff use. It's done okay. It's done pretty well for the time that we've had it. Um, I like it. All these are you know again, a lot of slides. Making lots of money off of your slides. So there's where your meat is right there. If you're looking to buy something and you're in a zone where they can use water slides is where they're at. So this is a dry slide, the pirate slide, pirate ship slide. It's done really well. Again, it falls in the toddler category because we don't want, big kids in there running over the little kids. My only issue with this slide is that it does have some viewing problems. It's hard for the parents because the walls are solid and they're so high and there's only like viewports. It's hard for the parents to watch the kids. So just keep that in mind if you're looking at that. Scooby-Doo combo is one of the ones that I've got here probably in the last couple years, probably 3, maybe 4 years. It's done well. It's done okay. Two things that I have a problem with. One, it's themed. It's Scooby-Doo, so everybody loves Scooby-Doo, but it is themed. Um, so it's not like you could put it, in certain situations. It also has a pool and what we call a deep pool without a bottom, and the deep pools slow the kids down so much that it's very, very difficult to have anything other than a backyard party with something that's got deep pools. So when you're looking at units and you're looking at that pool and you're thinking, oh, that'll be great. Remember, if something has a pool and you take that to a church or a school event where there's a lot of kids and they're trying to cycle them through, you're going to have problems with the little kids getting stuck inside those pools and not being able to move out of the way and the bigger kids coming down or whatever. Pools are really not conducive for events where you have high volume for that reason. Backyard parties, it's fine because there's only usually a few kids and they can, they take their time. But when you're doing an event that's, at a large number of kids or whatever, it's very, very difficult. And again, get into some of the bounces. You guys remember the teapot is a themed unit. Um, let's go. This firehouse combo is brand new, and it's already have 9 rentals. I literally got that one earlier this year, so in just a few months, 9 rentals, not bad at all. I'll take it. I will take it. Um, Some of these are older and they fall in there. This emoji bounce is the poop bounce, 10 rentals, in probably 5, 6 years. So not not the best investment, not the best investment at all. Keep that in mind. And again, some of these came early. Uh, and were I had been in business for a while and they were just kind of the tail ends of it. So anyway, I hope that helps you guys with kind of picking the units for you and gives you a kind of a look into 10 years of what sells and what doesn't. You guys need to kind of make sure you're picking the items that are going to do the best for you, your business, and going to generate the most amount of money. I know there are things that you have uh, an interest in, and I know there's things that you think are really cool or really fun, but you really need to start looking at the things that the customers are going to enjoy and that you can make the most amount of money. Hey guys, we are not in competition. We are all in this together. I appreciate you guys for being in the business. If there's anything I could do to help, please let me know. And keep watching. Give us some thumbs up. Give us a subscribe. And I appreciate you. I really, really do. Thanks, and we will see you on the next one.